Greetings! A little early today, just before 10 o'clock, but I was getting impatient and I want to get on playing my game. So, welcome along to the stream. Another week, another Monday, and we're here playing Cities Skylines. Anyone who didn't look at the stream over the weekend or hasn't seen on Twitter, I've got some DLC on the game now. I have got Disasters, and I have got Green Cities, which just expands the game a little bit from its normal. Sorry, apologies for the echo. I had a monitor on, I've turned that off, so now things should sound a little bit better. Right, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's get the game going. There we are. So yeah, so Disasters are on, Green Cities are on. It gives a few more options. I've been doing a little tiny bit on the game off stream, not too much, but a little bit. In fact, I can't really remember where I got to on the stream. But population is growing to 31,500, so we're starting to get into sight of the next milestone, which is at 36,000, which is good. I've got this row of houses and a new bridge going across the river here, just a small bridge just to save everyone between these two residential estates either side of the river, just to save them having to go up onto the main road to cross over on that bridge to then come back down. So we've got this small bridge here that just links off this small road. So that's new. What else is new? Some trees in front of these houses. We had some noise problems because of the turbines here. So I just put some trees down, which might quieten things down a little bit, but I don't know about how much because these things are massive. So we've got a medical centre on the other side as well, just to treat people who may be suffering with the noise pollution. That's what's happening over here. This road goes all along the coast as far as I can, well, up to the railway. I mean, I can, but I can't really go further than that at the moment because the boundary is here. At some point, I might expand the area that I can build in, and then we can just continue the road along the coast, or the coast riverbank rather. Nothing much has happened over this way. Everything's ticking over. I have put a fire watching tower in up here, but I don't have a fire helicopter pad yet, so it's pretty pointless, but it's there anyway. And we've got some radio coverage. We've got some masts going in. We've got one here. We've got one over here somewhere. I'll sort the water out in a minute, but I'm sure there's a mast over here somewhere. I just can't remember where I put it. There it is, in the corner here. And we've got one somewhere else over here. Can't quite remember where I put it, but one is around here somewhere. There's one over for the area up here. I'm sure there is. I just plonk these things down. There it is. Radio mast covering up here. Everyone's basically covered with radio to some degree, which is nice for them. Let's sort this water out because they haven't got much water. Oh yes, and I did some work on the road around here. That's right, this was the last thing I was doing yesterday. So let's just pop that in there. There we are. Yeah, so I did some work around the roads here. This is a manually created roundabout rather than one of the stock roundabouts from the game. I've just built this myself just to try and improve the traffic flow a little bit because this is getting quite a complicated junction. I had this road here, this road here, this road here, and also the slip road for the motorway, which is underground, which is now over here. That also was connecting up at the same point. So we had a four-way junction here, and then we had this little loop road, which while didn't connect up at the same point, it did connect up about here. So it was all getting very complex and very complicated. So just rejigged things around. A little bit of demolition was needed, unfortunately. But we put in this manually created roundabout because the stock ones didn't fit. I've adjusted the loop road to be a one-way road. This is primarily for buses. The idea is that buses, you'll see it here, the bus comes down, loops around, stops over here. This is next to the metro station and heads off to the train station. That just makes it easy to get the bus around. So that's what that's for, and that's now one way where that was two-way before. And that's simplified what goes on here. We've still got this junction. Fair enough, okay. Still got that. But where we had 1, 2, and then a major 4-way junction here, and we've now got one junction, a bit more of a gap, and then a roundabout, which should hopefully ease the flow of traffic going onto it. The roundabout is not traffic light controlled or anything. It's basically stop sign on approach, on all the approaches. Once you're on the roundabout, it should be free flowing, which is pretty much how roundabouts should work. So that was quite a significant change, and the slip road that was further up there has now moved down here, and we can see, can I see that? Underground, there we go, slip road runs underground and joins up either direction on the motorway, which is hidden away, so that it doesn't scar the city. Did have a turbine here, which was just an experimental one for the water outlet in this lake, which is drying out. These are just experimental features I just put in to see what they did. I manually made this lake, which is rapidly losing its water. But this has become a little bit of a park area now, so we've got a footpath around this depression, and that connects down to here, and it also connects over here. I'm going to keep this as a green space. It's nice to have some breathing room, I think, in cities. We've got a green space over here. Same idea. We'll have that over here. So that is what I've done off stream. On stream, what am I going to do today? Well, we've got some demand for residential, commercial, and a little bit of industrial, so we can go and just carry on building. I'm trying to think about disaster preparedness, because I've got disasters on. It's good to be prepared. My worst nightmare for this city now is for a meteorite to come down and land in the middle. That would be a disaster of probably epic proportions. Actually, I don't know what the impact of meteorites is on this game, how big the impacts are, but you know, it could be disastrous. We've had a tornado. We've survived that. That cut through the residential, low-lying residential area over here. Okay, it was bad, but it's fine. And we had an earthquake, which is why we've got the crack in the ground over here. And that was fortunate that it was out here, because it didn't have massive impact. But since those disasters, I have built an emergency shelter just here, a large shelter, which is connected by bus. How's that going? Full of water, nearly full of food, full of power. I've only got the one at the moment, and I haven't planned any routes. I've got the radio masts, which presumably allow emergency broadcasts to reach more people. And I have a disaster recovery centre, or whatever it's a disaster response unit, excuse me, which is here. And that sends helicopters and trucks to destroyed buildings, rescue survivors, and make sure the rubble is safe for rebuilding. So hopefully that will help with recovery. It's on the main road. If the road gets destroyed, I suppose that's a problem. So I've got a little bit of disaster response. The question is, how effective is it going to be at the moment? Is it fairly limited? Probably. There are other things I can do. We have small shelters which I could put in. The radio masts I've already done. An earthquake sensor could go in. I could put a tsunami warning buoy in, but whether that's needed, because we don't have an ocean, I only have a river. Weather radar and a deep space radar. These aren't necessarily that cheap, which is something to balance, really. I will put an earthquake sensor in, they're not that expensive. If we put one of those in near the disaster place. Oh, there's a fire just started there. Just going to put one of those in. I don't know how many of those I need, but it makes sense to have one near here. Now, with the disasters on, it does mean that fires can spread. So I have to hope my fire response is good. And there's a fire engine. There's one, there's two. So that's good. So they should respond fine. Bus stops are very busy, just incidentally. Focus, thank you. This is quite nicely developed over here. Transport tower, disaster response centre. We've got a train station near here somewhere. There you are. How's that doing? Only 40 a week. Branch line. This line is for freight. I will be keeping an eye on my emails as the game goes on, just in case work comes in and I have to disappear. Still need to do something about the traffic over here. The traffic around here is horrendous. So is the noise. Probably doesn't help. This is the main road in. The rail freight terminal is over here. If we can make this more direct, at some point, I can make that a roundabout, but that's not going to solve this, is it? Because all these trucks are queuing to get here, I guess. I mean, a lot are going up here as well. I could bypass the road going past the trains. I mean, if some of them don't want to go in there, they want to go straight through, I suppose it's quite congested. But then why are they all in the right lane? I mean, they've got these other two lanes they can go straight on with. So, there's a question. Don't know. Water is a bit polluted. Let's have a look at pollution levels. Ground pollution 5%. Drinking water is fine, but the river down here is rather polluted, so I'm going to see if I can do anything about that. Let's see what we've got. Water treatment plant, tank reservoir, pumping service. I thought there was something I could put in the water. But yeah, I've got the water treatment plants. So replacing this outlet would be useful. I don't know if I can get one of those in there. Can I get one of those in there? Yeah. Let's see, can I connect that up? Yes. And then I can just turn this off. And now hopefully just clean the water up a little bit. Only a bit. So it's cleaner, but not clean. Still not going to be taking any drinking water from that side, but we've got plenty of inlets up here, so that's fine. There is one concern I have. If I have an earthquake or some other disaster that causes damage to the water pipes, we could end up isolating, say, this area or this area. How much interconnect do I have? This area is running off one intake. By the looks of it, this is on its own little loop. So we shouldn't lose water if something happens over here. This area shouldn't lose water, but this area is connected to here. So if this area loses water, so does here. It might make sense to put this on its own independent supply, or at least an emergency supply. Is that what the tank reservoir is for? There we go. Let's have one of those. A tank reservoir. Must be placed roadside. Okay. Put one of those in, just to create a little bit of a buffer. Just part of my emergency planning. If we lose a link, then hopefully this will just buffer this area ahead of restoring the connection. Assuming we're pumping enough water. Water availability isn't that great actually. So let's put in another pump. There we go. Water availability is now much better. Hopefully that means we can fill these tanks. 2%, there we go. They're going up, so that's good. That gives me a little bit of a buffer, just in case something happens to the water supply for this side of the river. Over here, I'm going to think about the boundary for this green space, and I think I'm going to put it about here. There we go. So we're not going to develop inside this area, even though I could zone in there. I think I'm going to leave that completely. And I'm going to run the path. Just on a nice curve. Oh. Oops. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, I've done it wrong. Sorry, wrong thing. Get rid of that. That should be under landscaping. Let's reconnect that up. Whoops. Oh, I'm not doing very well here. Okay. Good. Yeah, I like that. I don't think there needs anything more than that. Ooh, houses do want power. They are fussy like that. Oh no, they're getting their own power, they're hooking up. Okay, that's fine. As things are building, they're hooking up, that's good. So in terms of disaster response, the only shelter at the moment is over here, and it's not covering that many people. How many people would a small one cover? Well, not everybody. Let's look at the radio coverage. Is that this one? No. One of these does radio, I'm sure it does. Radio coverage, there we go. Yep, so this whole area is covered by radio. Disaster detection for earthquakes is good for most of the city. Where I put that one single sensor in, there should be another sensor up here really. I'll put one in next to the fire tower. There we go. We now have good earthquake detection. It's a little bit thin on the ground, I suppose, over here, so let's have one next to the station as well. Sorry, where am I going? This way, this way. Let's pop another one in there. There we go. We've got good earthquake detection coverage for the whole city. Good radio coverage. So we've got terrain heights, that's all we've got then. Oh, and this is escape routes, which I haven't played around with just yet. Let's have a look at escape routes then. How do you do those? I don't know. Do I have to click on there? Ah. So I can draw an evacuation route, can I? Okay. So let's draw a route then. You wouldn't want to go that way. Alright, so we start from here. I guess I don't want these to be too long. So I don't know if that's going to help or what. Let's put one in here as well. People need it, they can run, 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 run. So if you just joined the stream, welcome along. We're just playing some Cities Skylines and just very chilled out bit of gameplay, just messing around with some disaster stuff. This is a new for me because I only got the DLC. When did I get it? Thursday? Thursday. Let's say Thursday. Why not? So I'm just having a look and seeing what we've got in terms of evacuation ability. I've got a large evacuation centre just here and a couple of small evacuation shelters just dotted around. I'm just thinking one should probably go over here, considering over here had a tornado rip through it at some, well, not too long ago. And nobody had anywhere to go. Can I squeeze one in there? No. Well, one can go in there. Why not? There we go. So that's right in the middle. It's only a small facility. It's only going to cover a couple of streets by the looks of it, but it's better than nothing. Maybe I'll upgrade that to a larger facility at some point. The large one does seem to pull in a fair few more people, which makes sense. Just umming and ahhing about whether to put in things like deep space radars and all that, just in case of meteorites, but they're not cheap. How much is a deep space thingy? £25,000, $720 a week. I mean, it's not like I can't afford it. Could put it somewhere remote. Don't want it sort of slap bang in the middle of all the residential areas and all the dense city as we've got it. Although there is a nice space in that roundabout. Maybe it would look a bit odd. How much space does it need? Oh, it's got to be placed roadside, so that's no good. Same with the weather radar. Must be placed roadside. And that, just because it's a roundabout, doesn't count as roadside. That's a shame. Where? Oh, with the radar next to the evacuation place? Why not? Let's have one of those in there then. Gives me a 14-day forecast. Well, that could be useful, I suppose. How's that new bit of residential stuff going in? That's quite pleasant. Nice long street with a nice open field area. Should we put some trees in there? Some more trees. I've got a few dotted around there. Let's put some more trees and make it look pretty. Let's dot a few different trees in here. We're not talking about a forest, just some nice green space and some trees. And small bushes. Get a small bush near the entrance to the park. No, a bit boring. Let's put a tree there. And a tree there, that's a nice little entrance. We'll do the same over here. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a tree here, and then I'm going to line this section because it doesn't look very nice with the motorway slip road there. So I'll just make it look a little bit more attractive. A little avenue on the entrance. There we go. That looks quite nice. And just sort of hides away the slip road really from the park. that doesn't need a row of trees quite so much. And this, well, this is sandwiched in, so we can't really have a row of trees, but I can put a tree in here. And a tree in here. There we go. There we go, that looks nice. Looking good. It's a nice bit of green space. People can go for walks. Not that they are. Let's fill this water thing up. This artificial lake. Did I turn that on? Yes, I did. Yeah, water's flowing in. So this was put here purely as an experiment, and originally I just let it run over the plain, and it of course flooded all the houses. I created this depression just to make a sort of a bowl for the water to flow into. Of course, it dries out every so often, so and it's a bit of a waste of water, really. It takes the water from the pipe network. So if we're not haven't got that much water availability, then it's a bit of a waste of water, but the water availability is okay at the moment, so we'll just fill this up. The turbine isn't doing anything at the moment, it's not needed. Plenty of electricity availability. Nearly there. We're at 32,000 on the population and we've got 4 to go before the next milestone. Okay, that'll do. I think what a place like this needs is some benches. So let's see what we've got in terms of benches. There's one. Okay. Let's have a little look over the water there. Let's have one over this side as well. Have one in here. And let's have one around here as well. That's nice. I'll sit down, look at the water if it's full. And a bench along the path would be useful. Nice. What else have we got in here? High level bench. Suitable for sitting. What a surprise. Picnic bench? No, I don't think so. Make my own playground. No, I don't want to bring fast food into the park. Well, there's other types of benches. Oh, that'd be quite nice. Whoops. There we go. Put some signs at the entrance to the park. I'm spending a lot of time on this, aren't I? Squeeze a sign in there as well. just about. It's a very nice escape from the bustle of all the traffic. What have we got here? Oh, flower beds. Oh, I can really go to town on this sort of green space. Really go to town. I don't think that's necessary though. I think we've got a nice bit of green space at the moment. We don't need too much in the way of additional facilities. I don't even see anyone going for a walk, so let's be happy with that. Still getting a demand for residential areas though, so I need to think about how I'm going to fulfill that. Need to be a bit careful if I build off this road because I've kept it quite small. I could widen the road without too much impact. I mean, the buildings have to move back a bit, but let's have a look at the happiness. 86%. People are happy, which is good. It's all just about covered with that community health centre. Education isn't doing too well, mind you, so we should look at schools. Now we have some other school type buildings here. We've got community school, and these are high school alternatives. Let's put a school in down here then. I haven't zoned. I will put that on the inside of this area. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. That is on the inside, on the park area, but that's okay, it's a school. They could take advantage of the green space that's available to them. Let's put the footpath in. Like that. And that's available for the school children. So let's look at the education now, and we're capturing most of the residential stuff. This is going into commercial and industry, so that's not too bad. This is residential, and we're capturing all that, so that is good. High school, it's a slightly different matter. We're not getting these residential people in for high school over here. High school availability is quite low, so expanding that would also be good. We could do that this time with an Institute of Creative Arts. And I'm just going to build that into the inside of this park area. Just going to redo that pavement. Squeeze that pavement in there. Come on. Really? Can't just squeeze a pavement down that gap? Well, that'd be disappointing. Let's take this out then. Doesn't want to, does it? I was hoping I could just get the pavement through there. I might just edge that building up then. Right, that's where it is. I know this space is occupied. is occupied by the school. I want to move the school. Okay, well, we'll have a big gap. That's okay. Is that... that's the nearest. Okay. And then I can put my path back in. Where is it? So I liked having that next to the school. I thought that made a lot of sense. Now I can't get it to work again. How rude. Is that connecting? Yeah. There we are. That's nice. Now, if I were to expand the residential area, I'd probably cut off this road. It's going to build a road along here. Whoops, wrong one. And I'm going to put in a pavement to link a proper pavement. I'll have to take out that house. Sorry, house. So I don't always get pavement design. There we are. It's a little cut through for pedestrians. At the moment there's no road link to this housing estate. I mean, probably nobody will build on it. It'll just be interesting to see if people without cars would build there. I'm just going to do a little experiment. You can't zone against the pavement, can you? The answer to that is clearly no. Interesting that people are building there though, even though there's no actual direct road link. There is no road link. You can't get a car onto this road. So if a car appears on this road, they've driven across the field or the pavement. Pedestrians can get there, that's fine, no problem for pedestrians, but cannot get a car onto Travis Smithson Street. It'll be interesting to see what would happen to these houses if I actually took that road out now. Shall I see what happens? Let's see what happens. Take the road away. Landscape in pavement. Oops. Oh well. Redo that. Oh, they've disappeared anyway. Okay, fine. So we do need a road. They won't exist without roads. That's a pity. Well, that's nice though, because that gives a nice link through to the park. As for connecting the road, I'll think about it. If they're going to zone anyway, then I don't see much point in connecting this road. Just add to traffic. People can walk. If they're happy to build, we'll just see what happens. I'm not going to connect it up. We're just going to see what happens. It's a shame we cannot zone against just pavements. You could have nice little houses which are completely isolated from cars. You could have a pedestrian-only streets and things like that. That would be lovely. Let's look at traffic density. Of course, there's no traffic here. This is the main bridge in and out across the river. That's why that one's so busy. If I were to relocate the water treatment plants, I could have a new bridge straight across here. Might be worth thinking about to ease the traffic over this bridge. But, as we should know, adding roads isn't the solution to traffic problems. My water storage is 100%, that's good. Right, I'm going to finish zoning this little area in as residential. I'm going to rezone this area as residential as well. This whole bit is going to be residential. That makes more sense to me. They can stay commercial, that's fine. But this is just going to be a nice residential area. Linked by pavements. Now, what have we got in terms of public transport around here? In terms of buses, we have no bus network over here. It might be nice having its own little bus loop. So I'm going to put a new line in here, specifically to connect these schools. Now, why is that going that way? I want to go this way. Not that it matters. Okay, we'll go this way. That's fine. Connect up here. Definitely connect to the station. Then we're going to go down here. Hang on a minute. Why is it going that way? Is that a different line? Turn off all the ones bar the one I'm building, please. or I'm going to get confused. Okay. Okay, what should we call that? We're going to call this north and this south, or we're going to call this south and this north. I'm going to call this south, so this is going to, these buses up here are going to be prefixed N, so I know where they are. So this is going to be the N1. That way I know what's going on. In terms of the metro, we don't have metro lines over on the this area because the motorway primarily. We have a metro line link up to here, and the motorway gets in the way. It's hard to get the metro line over. So I could have a stop down here. Or I'd have to bring it right around. It would be nice to get the metro over. It's just that motorway is in the way. If I remember right. Let's just have a look. Yeah, see, space is occupied. I can get that far. Oh, no, hang on, can I get over? If I can find a path over, then I will take it. Because the reason I've got a metro, a link bus between that stop and this station, because I didn't think I could get the metro line across that motorway, but it looks like I can, so it would make sense then to bring the metro line over here. So let's put the metro stop in first, so I can see the alignment of the track. Where am I going to pop that then? Space already occupied. There's always a space already occupied. There we go. Right, you can go in there. And then we can bring... Where did it go? There it is. Just going to loop it around. Let's bring that down there. Let's put track on curve and then just loop it around to connect up to the station. Okay, I mean it's opposite, but that's fine. That doesn't matter, does it? Right, what am I doing? Public transport still, and I need to extend the line. So I need to bring this stop down to here. And are we still stopping there? Because I still want to stop there. So we'll pop that stop back in there, and we'll do it on both directions. There we go. So there's less need for the bus service now that literally links that metro stop to the station, but we'll see how that goes. If that drops off, then I'll just decommission the bus line. That's fine. Good, we're making progress. We're edging closer on the population. 33,000. If you've just joined the stream, welcome along. Probably won't be too much longer today, but I've just been pottering about, basically, slowly growing the population size. I've done a lot of work on this little green space here to make it quite nice with footpaths and trees and some benches and the like. New schools. No disasters have happened. That was a cue for a disaster to happen. It didn't. But disasters are enabled, and disasters can happen at any time. So I've been expanding my disaster preparedness. I have earthquake detection coverage, I have a weather radar, I have various shelters dotted around the place. Only small ones, and unfortunately not everybody is covered. It is a bit of a postcode lottery as to whether you can get to a shelter or not in the event of an emergency. But at least some people have something. And we're just basically just keeping an eye on the demand and seeing how things grow. I've just been experimenting a bit with residential stuff over here. We've got this road here that doesn't connect anywhere, yet people are still driving. Mad people. I had the idea that maybe I could zone based on pavements and just have a pedestrian-only residential area, but that doesn't work, unfortunately. Which is a shame, because this car is not going anywhere. All that car can do, unless he decides to drive on the pavement, is go up and down this Travis Smithson Street. Up and down, up and down. I mean, that's incredibly lazy. There's no real reason why I can't connect this up to the main road up here, but it was just a bit of an experiment to see if we could have a more pedestrian-focused residential area, which, you know, it's been built. You know, the road is there, and I suppose technically the game sees that, oh well, there's a road, there's a link to car, you know, get your car there, so we'll build our houses and that's fine. Of course, you just can't get in and out. You can't get buses in there. It's literally a case of, if you want to go anywhere, you have to walk down the pavement, which people are doing, and then you can connect up. There's a bus route literally just here. So public transport connection is good. It's actually a very big, busy bus stop, which is reassuring. But whether I connect this up to the main road network at any point, I don't know. This might just remain as a little bit of an experiment. People might complain, I suppose, if they can't get to their jobs. But there we go. Look, there's a car going. Where are you going to go? You've got nowhere to go. Get out of your car. Don't just drive down the street. Use those legs. You're being lazy. I would love to be able to designate a road as bus only, for example, pedestrian only. Okay, that's pavements, but still be able to zone houses, commerce, industry. But say, okay, this road is not for cars. This road is for people. This road is for bicycles. This road is for buses, but not private cars. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that's something that could be done unless I'm missing something, or maybe it's on an expansion somewhere. Different expansion pack, or maybe even a mod. I haven't played around with mods, so that could be something to look at some point. But in the meantime, what am I going to do then for more residential demand? Well, I've got a bit of space over here that I haven't zoned, so let's zone over here. We might as well use this since we've got it. Got a bit of a problem with rubbish collections, so we should put in a facility. Let's have a look at rubbish. Which button was that? That one. It's all covered. We've got green on all the streets, but I dare say it's the problem. Oh, we've got a recycling area over here, so that's something. The main rubbish disposal is up in the corner, where we've got a couple of recycling facilities. We've got a few incinerators and some full landfill. And then we just got other recycling facilities just dotted about. So why... Well, he's not complaining anymore. Oh, no, he is. Sorry, why is this one complaining about the rubbish not being collected? What is the problem there? Because is traffic too heavy? Can the trucks not get there? I mean, okay, yes, it's a bit heavy at this junction. But, I mean, these are all two-way roads. I'm going to have to do something about this. I mean... I can upgrade the road, I suppose. My mantra has always been, as in real life, if you just upgrade the roads, you just increase the traffic. It's called induced demand. I don't know how the game works in that respect, whether it follows real-world observations that if you increase capacity for cars, then you will get more cars, because people will say, oh, there's an extra lane on this road now, therefore it's going to be easy to take that road. I will drive. And of course more people do that, and all of a sudden that extra lane is full up. And you're back to square one. So yes, I can upgrade this road. Do I expect it to solve problems? Absolutely not. But we'll do it anyway, because it's busy. So why not? Green at the moment, but it won't last. I'm quite sure. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Oh no, that's the roundabout. I always thought for a minute I had a mistake on my one-way system, but I don't. This is my custom-made roundabout, not one of the built-in game options, just to try and improve traffic flow around this area, which was getting very, very busy with a number of roads meeting at this point. I seem to have destroyed my bus line, haven't I? Oh no, it's fixed itself, that's good. So we'll see if that eases flow. It'll probably ease the traffic flow for a little bit. I don't dispute that. I just think long term, this will remain busy. It's not as nice looking bridge either. The bridge on the old road was much nicer with the arches going over, but hey, hey ho. Now I have this idea of connecting a new bridge, but I'm going to have to move the water treatment facilities. But a bridge going across here could be quite nice, just so it's not a single bottleneck. It's a single point of access to cross the river for this estate, this part of the city. So anyone who wants to go between two has to go over this road. That is admittedly maybe a bit of a problem. Particularly if something happened to damage that road, then this side is going to get cut off. So connecting between here and here might be worthwhile. I could also do a link round to the main road here. Take a country road, country link, go around the hill. I'd have to buy a bit more land to get past here unless I literally go over the hill, which I could do. But the hill might again be quite nice, sort of a green space, a park type place. Have some trees and some paths, and people go for a walk on the hills. So I think for additional connections, I think this is the logical way to go, and I think I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to move these just down here, which means I'll probably have to redo the pipe work a little bit, but that's okay. Right, let's pop that down there. Let's pause the game so we can do the pipe and all that without affecting anybody. And move this one as well. We'll try and keep it all together. Just notch that into there. Move this one. Really, I should replace this. This is dirty. Even though it's an eco outlet, it is a dirty, dirty outlet. It's not as clean as water, properly treated water. I am going to properly decommission these two. I'm not going to bring those back into service. And then we just need to reroute these pipes. So we'll go from here, straight down. And they just connected onto the same, yeah, so if we just run down like this. And then we'll take out the old link. There we go. Okay, carry on. So, we've got those moved. We should now have space to bring this road across. I am going to have to lose some of these properties, unfortunately. Such is the price of progress. Let's just have a bog standard 2-lane road. Let's upgrade this one here. Oh, we've got a sewage problem actually. Now I've moved that. Why have we got a sewage problem? No power. Power would be a good idea. Let's just branch off here. Is that going to power them all? Should power them all. Come on. Yes. Whoops. Come on, come on, come on. And that is a little bit of a problem that the city has at the moment. It's very much a single point of failure. If the pipe to these water treatment plants goes for any reason, if there's a break, then the whole city will lose its sewage supply, which can be very unpleasant. But for now, it's solved. Okay, so where was I? Upgrading this road, and I've done that, so let's put in a straight road across. Oh, I've lost power to that outlet there. I'll do that in a minute. Come on. There we go. Right, shall I arc that round? I think I should arc that round because that'll end up being a junction then. There we go. Bit weird. That is very weird, isn't it? Looks very odd. But that's a straight line on, and then it arcs round. So no, we'll go with that. Weird is good. Nothing wrong with weird. Right, power for here has gone because my turbine isn't spinning. Presumably because it's too low down. Let's pop the turbine up here, and then hopefully, is it going to spin? Yes, it is. We've got power, and I'll just decommission this one. Let's get rid of it. Not just turn it off. Let's just get rid of it. Gone. Okay, so we have one turbine up on the hill to power this outlet, which will keep people over there happy because that will be their wastewater outlet over here. Yes, and unfortunately it will dirty the water a little bit. But that's good. We have another link. So we have a little bit more resilience in terms of the road network at least. Right, what's going on here? Crime. Okay, yes, I haven't thought about police coverage for a while. So they're off the main road, so police officers can't get to them because police officers can't possibly walk anywhere. Once upon a time, police officers would be on the beach, they'd be walking their city. No, in the modern day, we have to have a car link. Or we just put a police station in. Let's do it centrally. Let's put a police station in there. And that will keep them happy because the police officers can drive up and down and up and down. I would not like to be assigned to that precinct. Police officers want some water. Thirsty job. Sling that back. My philosophy with water, with the pipe network, has been since pretty much day one with this game, is to do a long loop. So there's no interconnects between the pipes. Everything works in a circuit, and it may look a bit weird. The pipes may look like they go all over the place. They do go all over the place, but for the most part they are one continuous circuit. For the most part. I mean, it does branch off here, as we can see, and obviously got branches for the waste water there, but for the most part it is one long loop to try and make sure that there's no contamination of the water between the drinkable stuff and the waste stuff. When I first played this game a few weeks ago, I had a fledgling town, village. I got to 2,500 people, not very many at all, and the water was horrendously polluted because I think I was interconnecting everything everywhere. It was very much a grid of pipes, and the water pollution was 40–50%, and everyone got sick, and then everyone started dying, and the whole city just failed completely. This isn't going to work, this unconnected road, because people want their rubbish collected. So it was a nice experiment. It failed. So now I'm going to connect up the road. It's a shame, but there we go. It was worth a try. I didn't think about services such as rubbish collections. So yeah, so if you had a road that could be designated as non-car, it would still have to have access for police, fire, ambulance, rubbish trucks, hearses, essential services basically, just no private cars. But that doesn't seem to be an option I can avail myself of at the moment. As I say, I could look at mods, I could look at other expansion packs and see if there's a way of assigning different uses to different roads. Ooh, that glitched. Sounds glitching there. City's probably getting too big for my computer. The specs of the computer is a bit of a problem because you watching the stream probably notice it's a little bit juttery. The frame rate's a bit low. An upgrade is on the cards. I'm just waiting for some money to come in. Well, I'm waiting for work to come in, and then I can get some money, and then I can buy an upgrade. Shall we expand what's going on over here? We've got a nice riverside residential area here, but I've just left it at this at the moment. It'll be nice maybe to put a bit more over this side, a bit of commerce and a bit more residential maybe. We've got offices. Haven't got any commerce here though, so let's zone some commerce. There's a bit of a demand for that. Not massive, but a bit. So we'll just zone in a little tiny bit over there, just increase the development. I need to look, I suppose, at toll roads at some point, because this road is a small road. It's a small link between the two residential areas. This is the main road. So for people crossing the river, ideally I'd want people to use this road, I would guess, with it having more capacity, and then keep this one as low traffic. So if there was a toll on this road, that would discourage car use. People are crossing it nicely, by foot, which is good. It's obviously not too far to walk. Something I haven't looked at toll roads at all. I'd have to see how that impacts buses. Presumably I can have a bus going over a toll road and it doesn't have to pay a toll, being that tolls are paid to the city coffers, and the city coffers pay for buses, which is, if they paid a toll, would then just be paying money back to the city. That just seems a bit circular, so that wouldn't make any sense to me. But that could be a good way of discouraging car use, I suppose, to put tolls on roads. Something to try. We're at 34,300 people on our population. We've got less than 2,000 to go. If we can keep it growing, we might hit the milestone today. What's going on over here? Fire over there. Fire's put out. That's good. This counts as a university. I thought it counted as a high school. That's interesting. Elementary school capacity is a bit tight at the moment, so we might need to think about putting in another school. Where is limited on education? This side. There's no educational facilities over this side of the river. Same with the high school. It's getting close to capacity. University is fine. Library is fine. Okay, let's put an elementary school in over this side. Not there though. Where's the river? There it is. I'd like the school to be here. There we go. That increases that slightly. Not massively, but slightly. So if I want to do toll roads, how do I go about doing that? That is a good question. Don't actually know. Transport. Would it be under transport? Because this is all public transport. There's nothing here about tolls. What's this button doing? That's milestones, which are coming up to one soon. This is areas, showing what I've bought and what I could get. That will probably be the next one. I'm not going to do that right now. Where do I see tolls? That's the question. Is it under here? Routes, junctions, adjust roads. No. Leisure. Low entertainment. So we could do some leisure over here, really. high entertainment over here. Alright. Come back to that. That's districts. I don't want to know about districts really. Land value is pretty high for the most part. Well, it's quite very high here. Increasing here. Not massively high, but going up. Quite high along the river edge. That's nice to know, but that's not what I'm looking for. Outside connections. Okay, doesn't tell me much, does it? Forestry, oh, imports and exports. I'm exporting forestry products and oil products and a little bit of ore. Fine, whatever. Transport, again, this is public transport. How's the N1 doing? 105 passengers a week, okay. Crime, noise, noisy city. Fire safety. Yeah, fine. Traffic. This is just information. Where do I find tolls? Policies have I got here? Helicopter priority. Priority for what? Oh, I see. Okay. Recycle plastic. Let's recycle plastic. That's a good idea. Haven't looked at these for a while. VIP area. No, don't want that. Combustion engine ban. Oh, that's a good idea. Electric cars. Everyone in the policy area must switch to an electric car. That might be a good idea. Filter industrial waste. Automated toll. Vehicles no longer need to... Okay, yeah, but how do I do the tolls? Might have to look it up. How do I do tolls? That's just budget. I really don't know. City information. Oh, I've looked at this before. Okay, that's nice. Very small. Better read it. City attractiveness is only 25%. That's interesting. To make it more attractive. We should have some leisure over this side. Definitely. Definitely should have some leisure. Let's have a park. One or that one? Everything has to be connected roadside. See, this really irritates me. That everything has to be connected roadside. See, I've got a park in here. But why does that park have to be here? Why can I not connect that to a pavement? To me, that seems daft. What's this? Oh, I've got a botanical garden. Don't want another one of those, really. Floating cafe, I can't do yet. Fishing island, no, not really. Plaza. I haven't got tennis courts over here. Let's have a tennis court. Again, this is the sort of thing I'm happy to have inside this circle. Circle? Arc? Whatever. Because it's a fun thing. It sort of goes with the green space. And I'm going to put the basketball court in as well. I usually put those two in together. So that'll make the place a little bit nicer. Give some people something to do. I'm just going to double check. I definitely can't put those. No, see, it has to be placed roadside. It's irritating. And these are the little things. I don't want to do the little things. Not really. Special buildings. What have I got here? Theatre. Theatre would be nice. city centre thing though, really. Where would the theatre go? It's a fair amount of space. Fit there because of the motorway. It's short of raising the motorway. I don't really put it there. You could go in this side, probably. Somewhere here. No, doesn't fit. That's a shame. We got here. We've got a metro stop there, so it'd be nice to have that here. But space is occupied, so it doesn't fit. Decisions. It'd be nice to have it next to an existing metro stop. But it doesn't really have to be in the city centre. I mean, it could go in here. Or not. This side of this road? Ah, could it go there? Yes, it could. Could it not move up so it's parallel with this road? I suppose this road's got a slight arc, so maybe not. But there is... I think there's a metro stop here. Is there a metro stop? Yeah, there's one there. So this is going to really become the transport tower. We've got a theatre. We've got the train station here. This might end up becoming quite a hub. But I still haven't figured out how to do tolls. Let's just speed things up a bit. Let's just see how things grow over the next minute or so. Or is it just going to hover? We're actually getting a population drop slightly there. So it's 34.8. We are seeing that population near the next milestone. I'd like to get to the milestone, really. It seems silly stopping it before the milestone now. Well, traffic has eased down here. I mean, it probably helps that I've got this new bridge. It's still quite a busy junction. All these junctions are quite busy. As we approach 35,000. Excuse me. So we're very near now to the milestone of 36,000. We're just hovering around the 35,000 mark. 36 is the milestone. I've got the game playing quickly, full speed, so we can try and reach that milestone in this session. Got some demand for industry. Where should I put more industry? Should we go over into this area here? I think we should. Do I have a road link there? Yes, I do. What am I going to do? This is probably a recipe for disaster in terms of traffic management, but there we go. Let's bring this round this way. And around to here. And then I can zone a bit more office-based industry in here. And I am primarily office-based rather than any particular dirty industry. How's the water coverage around here? It needs a little bit more, doesn't it? Just branch that like that. Right, 35.4, sorry, we're nearly there. We are nearing the milestone of 36,000 people. This is a city that started off on a vanilla copy of Cities Skylines with no DLC, no mods. Since the last milestone, which I think was that at 17,000? No, the last milestone was at 22, sorry. Since then, we've had Green Cities enabled, the DLC, and we've also had Disasters enabled, the other DLC. The city has survived a tornado, which ripped through the low-lying residential area here, went onto the river, damaged 2 railway lines and the road here, the main road over the river. Yet the city recovered, the roads and rail links were rebuilt, the demolished housing estates all around here was all rebuilt, the metro link was all rebuilt, and it started to recover. And then shortly after that, the city suffered an earthquake, which caused a tear in the ground around here for our exterior connection on the highway here, and caused some damage to buildings around the industrial area, and even as far away as the industry over in the far side of the city, almost as far away as you could get from the epicenter of the quake. All of that was demolished and rebuilt. The road link was reconstructed over the fault, and the city has continued to grow, and so far we've had no disasters since then. And we're now approaching the next milestone in the so far success story that is this city of, what have I called it? Portland. I didn't call it that, the game did. We've got a little bit of a complaint from the industry over here about, what's that, too few workers? So the link here needs to improve. So I could bring a little road here, just to improve access, which hopefully will improve the amount of people that are going to work in that area. We don't have a bus route over here, and we don't have a metro link over here. Let's have a look at public transport. There is a line. I could put a metro station in here. That's probably a good idea. Right, pause the game. Take out the metro line here. Put in a station. Just here. And reconnect. Oh, there's a slope, is there? How is there a slope? Oh. I thought metro lines were all on the same level. Evidently not. Okay, not a problem. I'll just bring it further back. Let's keep it a straight line, shall we? Straightish. Yeah, it's low down, isn't it? Interesting. In its own little way. There we go. And if we look at the line, we'll put a stop in here. There we go. That should improve connectivity. Carry on. City is bustling. Absolutely bustling. This is a obviously one-way motorway going out of the city here. This is a two-way road. We've got no motorway link to that particular road. We've got motorway here, I suppose. I suppose you can get out on here onto here, can't you? Through that junction there. So yeah, I was just thinking whether I should upgrade or reconsider the road network here to continue the motorway, but I don't think that's necessary really. The motorway is creating a nice link into the industrial area here, so that's working well, I think. Even down here, which was traditionally a bottleneck, it's flowing well at the moment, actually. All seems to be going rather nicely. Big bottleneck at for the buses in the what is the central hub for buses here. They can't get out very easily. But I'm going to start trying to think a bit more about how I do the bus network, where everything was connecting over there before. I'm now going to sort of zone it. So we've got a bus line that runs around this area here, and if you want to go over to the main city, you have to change. 3.835. Yep, 35,800. I can't read numbers. 35,800 people. We are rapidly approaching 36,000 people in this fledgling. I keep calling it a fledgling city. It's really beyond that now. It's been going well for a fair while. The population growth has been slow, but relatively steady. We're at 35.9. Let's slow it down to nearer its real time. 35,946. We're going to get there. This is going to be the moment we get to the next milestone on Cities Skylines with disasters and green cities enabled. As we approach that magic number, we can look at the finances at 3.9 million in the pot, which is doing very nicely. We're increasing at 6,000 a week, which is very, very healthy. The pot isn't its highest after the disasters, after the earthquake and the tornado. There's a lot of expense in rebuilding infrastructure, rebuilding facilities such as a school which was destroyed, metro links and the like. So we did have a dip. The highest it's been is 4.1 million. But the finances are going in the right direction. I've never increased the taxes. And there we are. We have it. Capital city. We need a sound. Hooray! Capital city, 36,000. That is the next milestone achieved. Fantastic. I wasn't planning to do that today, so I am quite happy. What do we have? We have new areas available. We have ships available. We have a harbour, cargo harbour, an eco water treatment plant, which is excellent. So I'll have to look at those. I don't actually know how useful ships and harbours and things are going to be because we're on a river rather than the sea. But I suppose a cargo can travel by river as much as it can by the sea. So we'll have a look at those. What do we have in unique buildings? What have we got here? Well, there's nothing new to go in here just yet. There are things that should be able to put in. The gherkin, oh, that's from London. So we've got yeah, different things to do to unlock these. So we won't worry about those. And we won't worry too much about those. So the next milestone will be 48,000. So we have a way to go. And that'll be when we get some extra options that might be quite useful. Nuclear power, a floating cafe just for fun, an ocean thermal energy conversion plant. That, since it says ocean in the name, that probably won't be very useful. But that doesn't come along until 48,000. So we've got to grow by 12 before we can get there. But we can increase the city territory, which is nice. Although I've been very much trying to keep things quite condensed and with a quite limited area. Because we've got quite a lot of space left. We've got all this area around. down to here. We've got a lot of space around here to build in, but having the option to expand in that regard is quite nice. We can create new areas, almost cities within cities, if you like, that are linked by highways, and that are their own distinct functioning entity. So I think I'm going to call the stream at that point. We've been going for a while, been going for an hour and 45 minutes. Let's save the game at this point before a disaster happens. Let's not jinx it. Let's not cause all my efforts to be wiped out by a wrongly placed meteorite or something disastrous like that. But it's been good. It's been successful. I'm pleased. Objective next is just to carry on, really. Just edge that population up. Do it gradually. Don't over commit. Don't overzone. Just build as things are needed. I want to increase the entertainment value of the city. Let's get the tourists in. We can look at the electric cars. We need to figure out the toll roads. See if we can reduce the use of cars on certain roads. That'll be good. But yeah, we'll just keep ticking it over and seeing how things go. So, coming up on the stream this week is all dependent on work. But generally, I will be broadcasting at around about 10 o'clock in the morning, weekdays. You can confirm my upcoming schedule by having a look on the Twitch channel itself. If you look below this video, you'll see when the next broadcasts are, so keep your eyes on there, twitch.tv/BG2019UK. You can also look on Twitter, at BenPlaysGB, where I will also announce when I am going live. Coming up this week, you can expect a bit more Horace, the pixel art platformer that I started last week. I'll play that a bit more of that. You can also expect at some point me to start a game of Mark of the Ninja, which I bought last week and I'm yet to start because I'm saving that for going on the stream. And also probably on Thursday, but again it's all very work dependent, I will come back to my retro game for Throwback Thursday, and that will be continuing Magic Land Dizzy, trying to find the 30 diamonds I need before I can complete the game. So that's coming up in this week. If you want to know when I am broadcasting, make sure you are following, make sure you hit the notification icon. If you've got the Twitch app, then you'll get the notification on your phone as to when I am going live. I may also come back to City Skylines and play a bit more of that. So yeah, if you can do that, that would be great. That helps a lot. But until next time, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again. Bye-bye.